This is not a normal Saturn transit. Saturn, which is about longevity, patience, and discipline and putting in the work, is in a sign all about taking action. And not even just taking action, but taking action when you don't even believe things will work out. Another layer of what makes this Saturn transit extra special is that it is applying to a conjunction with Neptune, which also just ingressed into the sign of Aries. When Saturn and Neptune come together, this is about breaking boundaries, building new worlds, and asking ourselves, what is really possible? When Saturn and Neptune come together in the sky, which hasn't happened in 6,000 years, this is potential of mass awakening energy to the truth. What truth, you say? I know I'm not alone in this when I say that in the last 2 years, I have been radicalized. Watching a live stream genocide that has been funded by our tax dollars and politicians and leaders and people that we used to look up to remain silent and not do anything, it really asks you, like, what is power? Who holds the power? The next part of this video, I'm going to use the movie The Matrix that was filmed during the last time Saturn was in the sign of Aries to further my point. In this clip, Neo is meeting Morpheus for the first time, essentially offering him the blue or red pill.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
If we are to take the example of us being in the Matrix, which, by the way, Matrix in Latin means womb, so let's not distort that meaning. But for the purposes of this example, Matrix in this sense is us being brainwashed with propaganda of U.S. exceptionalism and just like the American dream. Ever since we were children indoctrinated into the US American education system that is like a direct pipeline to being obedient workers in capitalism, and then to maintain US hegemony and imperialism, US just extracts resources and causes other world governments to be destabilized through implementing a puppet dictator, yada, yada, yada. It goes on and on and on. So if we have just been awakened because we've all decided to take the red pill, and consciousness, which I believe is spirit, our ancestors, the omnipresent, the oneness that connects everything, the intelligence that is God, Allah, whatever you believe in, whatever name you call it, it was so strong, and some of us chose to wake up, that it forced us to wake up. And when you know the truth, you can't unsee the truth. You can't go back. And so it forces you to speak up. We saw the truth. We started speaking up about it. And I mean like globally, people have calling reps, protesting. Nothing has changed. What I like about Saturn in Aries, which Saturn is said to be in its fall in Aries, because there is that tension there, right? Saturn is upholding of tradition and hierarchy and legacy and preservation and conservation. But in the sign of Aries, which is the sign of the self, Saturn is like, fuck that. Fuck loyalty. Fuck the structures. Fuck legacy. We need to start something new. I've been wondering whether Morpheus is Jupiter or Saturn, because Jupiter is the guru, the teacher, and Saturn is more of like the father figure. Maybe he's both, actually. And of course, the oracle, I think, is Neptune.
You know what that means? It's Latin. It means know thyself. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Being the one is just like being in love. No one can tell you you're in love. You just know it. Through and through. Balls to bone.
So in this scene, Morpheus takes Neo to see the oracle to confirm he's the one. Now, this scene is so brilliant because she's basically saying that you don't ask if you're the one, you just are the one. Like, you feel it, you know it, you walk the path of the one. And the fact that she brought up know thyself, like this is so Saturn and Aries. Knowing your personal power is not given to you by systems, by structures, by a leader, by a father figure. It's ultimately something that you cultivate within you. Neo says when he meets with Morpheus for the first time that he doesn't believe in fate and that he doesn't like the fact that he wouldn't be in control of his life, even though there are many instances where he kind of resigns to his fate, until Neo starts to take action. He decides to change his fate through free will. This is where free will and fate intertwine. And so this is when he decides to go save Morpheus.
I can't explain to you why it's not. Morpheus believed something, and he was ready to give his life for what he believed. I understand that now. That's why I have to go.
Why?
Because I believe in something.
What?
I believe I can bring him back.
That, what he said about I don't know, but I need to do this, is Aries' intuitive like spark to take action. It's different than a water sign's intuition. It's this impulse to do something. And a lot of us have felt resigned to our fate, that this is just how things are. But we have to dig deep into our own personal power and be a little delusional, Neptune and Aries, and do the things that we know we can do within our own capacity in order to create change. And that's where Saturn and Aries, also in a 1-degree orb from Neptune and Aries, will be useful to us. This is like the underdog energy. It's believing in something so much that you just go after it, you just do it. This applies to you personally if you have felt disappointed and things have not gone your way, you've gone through really challenging times, or on the collective level, a lot of us don't feel like anything is happening. This is where we have to dig deep with our commitment, Saturn, our responsibility to ourselves and each other, and take action.